Hey everybody, it's Doom here, and we're in the 3.5 Monster Manual, and today's entry is the Homunculus, which is, a little gross creature you create that can poison people. There are other creatures like this, but this one is a kind of goofy one, I think. If you've seen that Todd versus the Book of Pure Evil show, that one was pretty gross. But this is a size tiny. So I had these little skulls that came with some board game, and they had these bases that were appropriate for what I'm doing here. So I thought I'll just get a dib of glue and that there. And then for the base, I want to make it look a little bit like a stone floor maybe underneath there. So what I'm going to do, actually I'm going to take that off there now that I think about it. What I want to do is cut out some little stones I could put on there. That'll be flat. So I'm just going to, well, probably that's not the best to use. Let me use super glue. I'm going to get some super glue, dab it around on there. I'm going to rub that and just cover the whole surface of this the best I can. This is very small, very tiny. And I'm going to get some of these little pieces here. I'm going to set that off to the side for a minute. Let that dry. So the homunculus is tiny, tiny, tiny. It's size tiny. So what I was thinking is I have this ugly little dragon head here that I haven't used for anything. So I thought I would cut that. Then I have this little, I don't know what this is from, some kind of like Age of Myth of Empires or something. I don't know, some of these little silly board games. And I was going to cut his tail off and maybe make a homunculus back piece with that. Something like that. I don't know. But this is not sharp. So we would need to just kind of, no, I don't think that's going to work. Okay, no problem. So I want my homunculus to be on a book or something because realistically, I'm thinking here that these guys are tiny and you need to add some substance to the base. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut a little block of styrofoam out of this little counting block from the Dollar Tree. Just like that. Pull up any weird pieces. I'm going to make a little cover. Okay. We want it to fold inwards, so I'm going to do this. I'm not cutting all the way through, okay? Okay, so I made some little cuts to be like a folded book. I'm going to glue that in there like that. It's just like that. So let me get a tiny dab of glue in here. Hot glue. Stick that in there and fold that up to be the book with that inside. Okay? And then I'm going to open it back up while I still can, while it's still hot. I'm just going to cut off that excess crap. Okay? This is going to be my tiny little book. I'm just cutting some little grooves. To where if I really wanted to get in here and do some detail work on that paper, I could do something with it. Okay. So our base should be pretty dry about now. I'm just going to get a pair of scissors, and I'm not going to get my normal big scissors I use. I'm going to get little scissors for this because this is kind of a delicate deal. And I'm going to cut around this base. Set my book and my body off to the side there. You don't have to do this part. You can leave that on there if you want. I just wanted to clean this up a little bit. Just a little bit. I'm going to set my book on there like that. And that's just going to give him a tiny bit more weight and substance. And I'm going to use that. And now mind you, this is size tiny. So this is a regular miniature versus what I'm dealing with, working with here. So I'm going to get a dab of glue under here where his neck was. I'm going to set him on this book. And I'm going to drag that up into the position I want him sitting. Now I cut these little wings off of this guy. I had 2 of these, and I cut wings off them. I had more than 2 of them. And those are a lot bigger than what I need for what I'm trying to make here. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some of that wing and snip off that excess. Something like that. So I cut into that and made a mistake, and that's okay. You'll do that sometimes. I make mistakes all the time. So we're just going to get a different piece to use as his wings. That's okay. We'll get that piece. Okay, we have those 2 little pieces to be wings. Alright, so what I want to do, I just want to nip off that very point, get the tiniest dab of glue on there to hold that in place on him where I want it. I'm going to do the same thing to this one. I have that one upside down, don't I? No, I have it right. Okay. Now, I don't have any wings on him, or hands or legs on him. So for his front legs, we're going to assume they're tucked under, or back legs, we're going to assume they're tucked underneath him. And for his front legs, I'm just going to get a little bit of wire. It's like a really crappy plasticky wire from the Dollar Tree. And I'm just going to snip off a couple little pieces of that. So to attach that, just got some glue shoved in there. Okay. Got one side, now I'm going to do the other side. Oh. Okay. I'm just going to snap that off. All right, so now let's get this on here with just the tiniest little dab of glue. We'll let that cool down and clean up some of our mess. We're going to save some of these pieces. I think we can use this for something else down the road, maybe. Okay, I need to redo that wing. So to do that, I'm going to get a dip of glue. Whoa, flying wing. All right, so now we need to sturdy him up. So to sturdy him up, we're going to get our baking soda. And we're going to sprinkle a little bit on his back. And then kind of tap it down. And just one dab of glue on each side. Off the wing and let it run into the center of the model. And hopefully they connect. Kind of like that. And then that's going to be sturdier. And then his little arms aren't going to be real sturdy yet. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to come underneath here. Sprinkle some of that baking soda there. And get a little bit between him and the book. Okay. There we go. That's pretty sturdy. Alright, we have some cool little leftover pieces. I'm going to throw those in my parts box. Parts box, I love you. And there's our little guy. Our little size tiny fella. He's pretty sturdy now. Though he's not really on this base super good. There we go. That'll do what we need it to. Alright, so when I come back, our little homunculus is going to be spray painted black and dry. And then we'll see how we can go from there, okay? And we're working with this small stuff. It's tricky, so don't beat yourself up if things aren't going perfect. Alright, so if you like what we're doing here, hit like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell icon, leave a comment. Go to the Dungeon Swag website, buy some minis. You know what? We need something for hands on him. Let's see if I can't just make a little dab of glue and make that work. It's not ideal. Don't mess with stuff. Rule 54. Don't mess with stuff. Alright, cool. And join us on Discord. Hang out. Paint some minis. Do some crafts. Do some role-playing. Play some video games. We've been playing Dark and Darker on there. So, I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.